Miraculous, absolutely miraculous. And all of Israel is rejoicing. I literally was weeping when I found out this news, as All Israel News broke the story with other news sources, of course, in Israel on Saturday. The extraordinary news that Israeli special forces had conducted a daring, dangerous, complex operation in northern Gaza and rescued 4 Israeli hostages. Hi, this is Joel Rosenberg. I'm in Washington, D.C., and I'm here for All Israel News. And I want to walk you through some of the key elements of this extraordinary story. The story is still breaking. And so I encourage you to continue following at All Israel News and on our social media as we continue to get more details throughout the day and the night and the next few days, because this is a story that may very well end up being a motion picture. All right, let's begin with who got rescued. So 4 Israeli hostages that have been held for 246 days since October 7th were rescued today. They weren't released by Hamas. They were rescued in a very daring and very explosive military operation. So the 4 names are Noah Argamami, she's 25. Almog Meir Jan, he's 21 years old. Andrei Kozlov, he's 27 years old. And Shlomi Ziv, he's 40 years old. All of them were at the Nova Music Festival in a place called Ra'im, not far from the Gaza border. I've reported there, in fact, just last week with the visit of former U.S. ambassador to the United Nations and former U.S. presidential candidate Nikki Haley. I was with her at that site of the Nova Music Festival. But these 4 were among the hundreds. Well, there was more than 3,000 people there, dancing, singing, enjoying their friends on that Sabbath morning of October 7th. And then these were one of dozens and dozens of Israelis that were taken hostage and dragged, pulled into Gaza and taken deep underneath the Gaza Strip in those horrible terror tunnels. Famously, of course, Noah Argamani, again, 25 years old, maybe one of the most famous faces from that terrible abduction, kidnapping on October 7th, because she was kidnapped and put on the back of a motorcycle, bound, and they're driving her back into Gaza, and she's screaming to her friends to save her, to rescue her, and screaming to her captors not to kill her. Noah, again, unique in the sense that she has an Israeli father, a Chinese mother, so a face that people have recognized, beautiful, young, innocent, and then taken captive. And we saw, I mean, not every hostage do we see in the process of being taken hostage by Hamas abductors, but we did see her. We saw the terror in her eyes. We heard the terror in her voice. But Noah is safe today, back on Israeli soil at Tel Shmer Hospital because of this extraordinary operation. Let's just take a few moments and talk about how complex this is. Look, many of you who are viewers and readers of All Israel News have been praying faithfully, as we've been encouraging you, set the captives free, right? We did a whole social media campaign, and we'll continue to do it because there's still 120 hostages still in those terror tunnels, still in Gaza, that need to be either rescued or set free in some sort of negotiated deal. But 246 days, Noah and the others were held. Noah, Almog, Andre, and Shlomi were held. All of them had been at that Nova Festival, and we didn't have almost any evidence if they were even alive until about a week ago, when Noah had recorded a message at the demand of her Hamas captors, and she was demanding that people would protest the Netanyahu government, the government of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and War Cabinet Minister, former Defense Minister Benny Gantz. And she was basically criticizing the Israeli government and demanding that people turn out and protest the government to pressure them to get a deal that would lead to the end of the war and leave Hamas still in power in Gaza. Now, obviously, she was forced to do that, right? Everybody in Israel knew that. I actually have friends, Israeli friends, who happen to be, they're friends of the Argamani family, and they were at the hospital the morning this happened, the morning that the audio message was received and that the family received it. The father wasn't even sure at first if he wanted to share the audio message with Noah's mother. Why not? Noah's mother is battling stage 4 brain cancer. And is very, very, the family is very worried that she may not make it. We're all praying that she will be healed somehow, miraculously. And all of us have been praying that Noah would be released or rescued somehow in time, at least, if Noah's mother is going to pass away, that she would get out in time, that they could see each other, they could hug each other. This has been such a grief on top of all the other griefs of all the other families. Again, this is a family that the Israeli people have come to know a little bit better, honestly, than the others, because of the emotions, because of the video, because of the mother's story. So, but the father decided in the end that it was only fair to share this audio. And the mother, even though there's fear in the voice of Noah while she's in captivity and everything, and she's saying all these politically charged things, Noah's mother was actually very happy. Why? Because it was proof for the first time that Noah was still alive. And so, they just didn't even think about what she's actually saying, because obviously it's being coerced, and cruelly coerced. But they were just glad that she was even alive. Now that she is in the arms of her father, we'll show you some video of that and some photos. Now that she's reunited with her family after 246 horrible, hellish days, and then these others with their families. Again, we'll show you some photos, we'll show you some video. It's really so encouraging. And I want to thank you all, because you've been praying Isaiah 61, verses 1 through 3, that the Lord would set the captives free, right? It is a miracle. This is the Lord has done this, okay? Now, obviously, he has done it through the Israeli Defense Forces and through Israeli intelligence and through the Israeli police counter-terrorism elite unit known as Yamam. God used these special forces the way he used David to rescue hostages back in Bible times, the way he used Moses to lead the people out of Egypt. God uses flawed people. He uses militaries. He uses leaders to do it. Sometimes he does it supernaturally, so you can all see that, when the Red Sea parted, it wasn't Moses, right? But if you think of the operations where David was successful as a military commander, these were miracles of God. These were acts of God, but he was using human instruments, and that is what we've seen today. Again, 120 hostages still left, including some Americans held in those terror tunnels. But a day of great rejoicing all through Israel. There's actually a phone call. We've got some video of the phone call between Israeli President Isaac Herzog and Noah, as he called the family and then spoke to Noah directly. It was only about a minute, but he just said that he wants to extend it. The entire nation of Israel wants to hug Noah, and it was a very moving moment. There's a lot to do still. The pressure of the Israeli military is still super important. The American government here in Washington, the Biden administration, has been putting so much pressure on the Israeli military just to stop the operation and accept terms that Israelis at the leadership level, and many, not all, in the ground, among the public, don't feel comfortable with. But there's a big question now. What will the release, the rescue of these 4 hostages, what will that do? It'll excite Israelis, but will also put the evidence, the pressure on the Israeli government. What else can you do to either rescue or get these hostages released? It will also create a question for Hamas leaders. And we got to pray that they don't retaliate by killing these hostages, the remaining hostages, in retaliation for this. But maybe they will realize their day is coming to an end and they need to release these hostages. So keep praying Isaiah 61, and ask the Lord to set the captives free by his power, for his glory, whether he uses the Israeli Special Forces or American Special Forces or others or not. So this is Joel Rosenberg. I just want to give you, in Washington, where this news has broken today and it's spread all across Israel now, it's spreading across the world. It's a great day. It's a great day to rejoice and thank the Lord, but to keep praying. Lord, set the captives free. This is Joel Rosenberg in Washington for All Israel News.